Hi, we're the Briefs, and you're listening to the Black Lung Show on Kaotic Radio. The Black Lung, the Black Lung Show, 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 and starting fucking now.
That's right, you're listening to the Black Lung Show live on the world-famous chaoticradio.com. What a great fucking day. This studio is fucking banging right now. It's awesome right now. We've got two of the greatest punk bands on the face of the planet here in studio. My guests today are going to be the lower class Brats, but we'll see if they pop their heads in or not. Special Duties are here in studio. They were just on A Beautiful Disaster with Dutchy the Punk DJ and Kat Monroe. I'm joined in studio. It's been a while with my engineer extraordinaire, Rachel. Rachel, how you doing, lady?
I'm doing good. What's up?
Oh, it's some crazy stuff. it is hot, yeah. Well, this is Southern California. So we got some life-changing shit that happened to us, you know, since we've done the show last, right?
Oh yeah. Something special happened Friday night.
Let me know. Tell the audience.
Yeah, I finished Dutchy's 78 RPM, and then I did Cannabis Council and Derby Canceled. So we played a replay, and my boyfriend at the time came and picked me up. And he took me down to the beach in Redondo, right off the pier, and we went off on the rocks over there. And he was like, yeah, I don't think this is working as boyfriend and girlfriend. I think we need to step it up. And he gave me a ring and asked me if I wanted to marry him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I almost cried.
You almost cried?
I almost cried.
We almost cried.
I'm crying. I'm crying now.
Marty's crying.
All right.
Oh.
So real quick for everybody listening, I apologize for not doing the show last week. I had a life-changing thing happen too. So for everyone that's listening, myself and my wife, we take in foster children, and we mostly take in teenagers because no one really gives a fuck about them. You know, we grew up punk rock, and so we try to do the punk rock thing and take care of the kids that no one else gives a fuck about. Right? It's kind of like with my band where my lyrics come from. But about a month ago, we got asked to do respite care, and so for people that don't know what that is, that like when a foster family goes on vacation, they have to leave their kid with somebody that's licensed, right? And so they have to go to another foster family. So we got a special needs kid who was 7 years old, and we fell in love with him immediately. It's hard for him to articulate and talk, but we had him for a month, and then the day he was supposed to go back was the Friday before last week's show. That's why I didn't do the show. So I actually took the day off work. My wife's crying. She's all bummed out. She's like, fuck, I love this little bastard. That's a bad fucking choice of words right there, right? God damn, I'm an asshole. Well, we're having beer and barbecue in here, so bear with us. But anyway, the night before, check this out. The night before he's supposed to go back with his family, they sent an email to the social worker and said, we don't want him. We can't deal with him anymore.
That's kind of heartbreaking.
It is. It was. I cried a lot about that. But then at the same time, I was like, fuck that. I'll keep him. So I have a brand new son. So that's cool, man. So I love the kid, and we got him now. So anyway, you're listening to the Black Lung Show live on the world-famous chaoticradio.com. My in-studio guests are the lower class Brats. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Thank
Happy
you.
to be here.
Thanks for coming in the studio, man. I'm really stoked. I've been a fan for a while, and you guys were just playing some shows with our buddies out in the lobby there.
Special Duties, yeah.
Special Duties. How were the last two shows? You guys did San Diego?
We did San Diego on
Friday.
On Friday, and we did the Observatory last night for the Punks Invasion 2017.
How was the show?
It was great. It was bitchin'.
Right
We
on.
loved it. Yeah. It's always a blast playing Observatory, and especially with that lineup, it was really cool because it seemed like a big family reunion. Lots of old faces meeting lots of new ones, and lots of cool hanging out.
That's cool, man. And I was listening to the show early. Special Duties were saying like that's the best show that they've ever played. And that's kind of like a big thing. For,
awesome.
Been playing for like 40 years or something like that. The Special Duties started in 77. I was born in 77, but
Right.
yeah.
I was 7.
Were you? All right. So lower class Brats, why don't we do this? We're also on YouTube too, so you guys can wave and shit.
Hey guys.
We got cameras everywhere. These are the lower class Brats. Why don't we go around the room and we'll do the introduction so you guys can tell everybody who you are and what you guys play in the band.
All right. I'm Zed. I play guitar.
Been with them for a month now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it, a month?
So, yeah, a month. First ever second guitarist. So
He's
happy to
number
be here.
2.
Yeah, I'm literally number 2. Literally. The embodiment of.
Are you enjoying yourself at least?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a blast. I mean, I've known Ron for a long time now, so you know, it's great to get to play with him and get to be with these guys. So, you know, Bones and Marty are great guys to be in a band with. So I couldn't be any happier.
Looks like it. Look at that big smile on his face. That's awesome.
You can see it too.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. There it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Bones and I sing. That's
There you go.
what I do.
To the point.
I'm Ron Conflict, and I play bass.
I'm Marty Volume. I play guitar.
He's number 1.
There it is. All right. Well, again, thank you guys for coming in the studio. This is not in someone's closet, or
No,
it's
it's not.
This is what we got going on, man.
Yeah,
Been,
this is
studio
actually
here.
really legit. Like,
Yeah.
thank you, Everyone
it's
says
really
it.
nice, and I saw a glass of wine just like sitting out there, and I'm like, these people are classy.
Well, Dutchie he's British, dude. I mean, what are you gonna expect? You know, that's how he rolls. That's what he does. So anyway, what I want to do on the show is we're going to talk some music. You know, from musicians, from a musician to musicians. You know, not your typical stuff, but I want the listening audience is watching on YouTube right now. Thanks for tuning into the Black Lung Show. Everyone is listening live on chaoticradio.com. If you guys have a question for myself or the Lower Class Brats, you can call in. Our call-in number is area code 909-360-8330. Rachel, we have some of their music, right? You got it pulled up?
Yes.
Why don't we just start off the show right away with just playing some fucking Lower Class Brats, one of the best fucking punk bands in the world. You're listening to the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com. The Lower Class Brats live in studio on chaoticradio.com. This is the Black Lung Show. I'm your host, Ryan Pena. So here's a cool thing. We not only do we share a love of music and punk rock, but we share a commonality. I'm actually not originally from California. I was born in Laredo. You guys know where that's at? Laredo. I'll say it in English. Laredo, Texas. Yep. That's where I'm from, brother. That's where I
We know where it's at.
Yeah.
We do.
Have you guys ever played there?
We played close down the valley. Oh, wait.
No, we played
we
Laredo.
played Laredo. That was at the, it was at a VFW hall, I believe, right? Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah?
Those kids in the valley go nuts, man.
Well, that's cool.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's a crazy place. You know, luckily you guys didn't get kidnapped or anything or killed.
Just to make this clear that Marty is the only Texan
I was
in the
also
band.
born in Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you guys are
Longview, Texas, if you know where that is.
I do actually.
Yeah.
All right.
We're all
So
transplants.
you're all transplants, but you guys
Yeah.
are all in Austin though, right?
No, we actually.
Where you started in Austin?
Well, we actually kind of came out of the closet on this weekend. That we all have been for a few months living we're in California.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a born and raised like North Orange County kid. I grew up in Buena Park, California, and Bones is born and raised in San Diego.
You guys just killed my whole shit right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. He's like
Yeah, just throw all
Anyway,
those questions.
to throw
you had
another
away.
to throw another like thing out. And Zed is actually from Virginia.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we all like he moved to Los Angeles 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I moved 7 years ago. No, 8 years ago. I moved to Austin, Texas. I originally was a lower class Brats booking agent, and kind of like ghost manager. And these guys have been my best friends forever, like as long as that's happened. And I joined the band as I was living in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
But Austin is a transplant city. There's very rare like that there's people actually from Austin. It's kind of like Los Angeles. It's the Los Angeles of Texas, where every misfit weirdo kid goes, man, when I'm 18, I'm getting out of here and I'm moving to Austin.
Right.
Like, fuck this, fuck Laredo, fuck Brownsville. You know, like Austin's where
That was
it
me in
goes.
1988. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
it is. It's like how like San Francisco is here, because exactly like
Exactly.
because Texas, woo, they got some people down there, and I'm just saying.
But,
Yeah, I do. My family's all from Austin, Texas too, and so my mom's actually flying there on Tuesday, and I went down there the last time I was there. Is I think because again I don't do much research on this shit. I just drink some beer and talk. There you go. Did you guys actually start in Austin though? Is that true? Because I read that.
Yeah, so the thing is, the band started, I had moved to Austin from San Diego in 1990, 91 when I was 21 years old. And a few years later, me and Marty met. Band was formed January 95. And just up until recently, it's all the members have moved out here. We still have a drummer out in Austin. And but yeah, for the most part, the band is now all relocated to Southern California.
Yeah.
No, then it'd be easier for you guys to come back in. Debut the new stuff that you guys have.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome.
So
man.
we're a local band now.
Cool. I see you guys on flyers all the time, and again with the foster kid thing, it's hard for me to get out, to go to the shows, but
Totally.
that's what I do. I interview bands, I promote the scene that I love. I grew up listening to this stuff, and so I was gonna say, like, I had some stories. When I went back in 1995, I went to Austin to go visit my family, and I remember going to Emos. Is that place still around?
It moved to a new location.
It did.
Yeah.
All right.
But it would be kind of like if we don't like to. I hope this doesn't sound like trash talking, because it's not. We try not to ever do that. But it would be like if CBGB's from its original location went and moved to a new location that still existed. It wouldn't be the same.
Right.
And that's the same thing. Like Emos is the CBGB's of Austin, and unfortunately, due to land development, greed, the building was sold and was supposed to be turned into like deluxe condominiums, but the original building is just vacant. And they moved to a new location on a few miles away. It's bigger, but it just doesn't have the same vibe as Austin. Yeah.
Well, the place they moved it to was originally called the Back Room back in the 80s and 90s. And lots of good shows there. Marty saw the Ramones there.
Yeah.
The building isn't the same as it was when it was the Back Room. It's now just a big box, and with a stage in it. And it's and to use the name Emos, and like I'm not trash talking at all either, but like when people think of that, they a lot of people are thinking,
Well,
that dirty club with the stickers all over the walls, and like ice in the urinals, and like stuff,
that's what I was
and
right about it.
It was a great dive bar, but it was huge and it packed a lot of people, and it was in a great spot right downtown. And now it's lost a little bit of its charm. I'll say that.
Okay.
And there's really no personality to it much. the name is still there though. It's still
No,
emos.
that sucks.
Yeah.
So, see, when I went down in 1995, I was there visiting, and I was like, I want to go to a punk show. And it just so happened that night that I went down there, it was, again, this is back in 95, right? So it's been a little while. It's been a little over 20 years. I saw Guttermouth and The Offspring. And for everybody listening, I don't know if you know this, but The Offspring actually used to be a punk band. It's a true story. It's a true story. They used to not suck, you know. I don't know what happened with this fucking Too Fly for a White Guy or whatever the fuck they're.
Oh, Baghdad was a great single, you know.
There you go.
and-
Right,
and-
right.
and,
So
you
I-
know,
The first album on Nemesis is
first
is
album,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lost
Yeah,
the War.
yeah, yeah.
Great songs, you know.
But then I don't know.
After that, nope.
Yeah, exactly. So I went there, and it was crazy. I was down there, and I was like, holy shit, Guttermouth from River. I'm from San Bernardino, and I was like, dude, it's fucking a Riverside band, you know. And then the Offspring from San Diego, and I was like, I went there, and I think I was like 18 years old at the time, or 17. And it was like $5 to get in if you were under 21. It was free to get in if you were over 21. I was like, what a fucking great scene. And then I went around to the other bars. I started seeing I watched some ska bands, the Bowler Boys. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Oh no, I know those guys.
All right, cool. Yeah, I thought they were.
Skinhead ska band, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were a great band. And then there was a psychobilly band I saw from there called the Flame Trick Subs.
Of course, know those guys too. Yeah.
What a
Probably
fucking.
went to the Flamingo Cantina and then the Black Cat, I imagine.
Yeah, the Black Cat. That's where I saw them with Satan's cheerleaders. They
Bates
had.
Motel. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So do you guys have a good following in Texas, or is it better in California? What would you say?
Well, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it was better. It's better or worse. You know, it's just different. You know, there are a lot more kids out here. That's just the plain and simple fact that there's a lot more people in Southern California than there are in Texas. So the shows are a bit bigger, but the energy is still there. The fans are still there. The people are still there. You know, the love is still there, and the love for us to both of them doesn't waver. You know. But Texas will always be our home, and the fans in Texas will always be the ones that, the reason why we're still here.
Yeah.
They're the original LCB Army, and it's mad love to everyone there.
This is a Texas band that lives in California.
Okay,
The best
Fair.
way to sum it up.
fair enough.
We still got our guns too.
Yeah, I got one right there. So here's the other thing too. In studio, in the actual radio station right now, outside, not only are special duties still hanging out. You might see somebody pop in here on the webcast. Everyone's here hanging out. We're drinking beer. We're if you guys are in the area, fucking come down. You're welcome to. I'm inviting you guys. We have beer. We have some barbecue. We've got Sal from Sal's Photos. He's here. He's taking some shots. And then of course we've got Bill from Dr. Strange Records.
You got the 4 Bs, man. You got beer, barbecue, Brats, and Bill.
There you go.
There
The
you
4
go.
Bs. That's going to be the theme of the show today. So you guys just did the interview over at Bill's Dr. Strange Records, and there was a lot. I should have played, but there was a lot of kids there, man. It's how cool is it? Going to the greatest. I'll say this, dude. The greatest rock and roll record store in the world, Dr. Strange Records.
It was really cool because Dr. Strange is an institution.
Yeah.
It is, and a punk institution, and the fact that there's been punk record stores that have come and gone, and that Dr. Strange is still around, and is still relevant and stays on top and still supports new and bands from the past. It's for us, it's a big deal to be asked to come in and do the interview, and fun because Bill's funny as hell.
Yeah, he's a character. Where is Bill anyway? Can you yell at him? Tell him to come in. All right, Rachel's gonna go get him.
Okay.
It definitely takes me back though, being in the record store, because Dr. Strange was one of those places ordering records and clothes from
Yeah.
pre-internet.
Uh-huh.
Living in Texas where I couldn't get that kind of thing most times. So
Right.
yeah, it was cool.
Isn't it? I see. Right? Did you buy those over at?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we all picked up stuff.
We all picked up stuff. I was so excited because I got a Black Flag, Process of Weeding Out. Black Flag is the band that for me, as a kid growing up, I knew punk rock, but I was really more into new wave, heavy stuff. And but when Black Flag was the band. When I heard the Jealous Again EP, that's when I became a punk rocker. I cut my hair, put on engineer boots, tied bandanas around them, and I was like completely sold, like to dress and be a punk rocker for my life. So they fucked me up. Like, you know, the Ramones were my gateway.
Yeah.
Were my gateway drug, but it was Black Flag that made me an addict.
Well, that's it, brother. Like that's how weird. Like I usually bring in my records to like to spin vinyl here on the show, and that's funny you mentioned that. I have one of the original ones that I actually purchased at Dr. Strange. This is a fucking infomercial, Bill. It's basically what's going on right here.
I appreciate that, Ryan.
That's all right. I don't. Is his mic on? Do we have his mic on?
Live. Channel live.
Oh, live one.
Right there. You gotta unmute it. It's next to the auxiliary.
That one, Bill.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is the voice of God.
Well,
No,
like-
I appreciate you coming in all the time. Ryan, for people that don't know, Ryan is a really good guy. His band kicks ass. Very good guy, very sincere. He does a lot of good stuff behind the scenes, not only with music, but with families and just helping people, being very supportive. And he comes into the store very often. He buys stuff. I make fun of him, and he still keeps coming back. I don't know why.
It's because I have a crush on you. That's secret. It's all right.
Thank you.
I hope my wife's not listening because I'm gonna get fucking in trouble when I get home. But no, so I love the fact that that's what I'm saying. We have to be a community. That's basically it, right? It's why I do this show. It's why I have the bands come in here because, you know, punk rock it's so much different than other types of music. You know, we help each other out. We support each other. I was talking to Special Duties outside while we were barbecuing, and Ron, they were saying like they were just singing your praises, like how well that you treat them. You know, when you book them with your own. You have I guess you.
My day job is I'm a booking agent. I book
Thank you.
book tours for punk and underground metal bands.
Awesome. So they were singing your praises outside. They were just like, you know, when Ron puts us on out, you know, they flew fucking from England, goddammit. And they're like, we got paid well, we played fucking great shows, you know, and it's just a big giant community. So let's do this because Dr. Strange Records is right down the street from our studio. You can Lower Class Brats were just on there. You got it's gonna be on it was on Facebook Live, right?
Yeah, we live streamed it. And
Okay.
It's probably on Facebook now or will be very, very soon. So you can check it out. And just pardon? It's on there right now.
Okay.
And getting back to the point that you just made, like a family.
Right.
You know, that's one of the points that I made or a question that I had or comment. And it really is a family. And real quick too, Ron is being very humble. He is like premier booker and he has a stellar reputation. And no, he really is. He's a good guy. He's been doing it forever. And he really is being very humble. He doesn't want to take time away from the band and focus on him. But I will focus on him for 1 second. That's it. That's it. He sucks. He's a good guy and he knows what he's doing. And that's why bands.
Thank you, Bill. The check's in the mail.
No, I'm being very sincere. It's true.
Well, okay.
Well, that actually, like, let me stroke Bill a little bit.
Go-
Give
please,
him a
please.
return handy.
Zip.
Because again, like what you were saying about community, and I can speak for all the brats here. Like, it's really important for us, and as you're saying, community. Like, we work with other punk businesses, and it's really important for us as a band to contribute back. Like, we don't take anything that we do, what we get, for granted. Like, everybody that comes up to us and says, I love this song, or I love seeing you live, we don't look at it like, yeah, thanks, kid. All right, next. Like,
Right.
we're appreciative of that. And, like, one of the things is like, it's that I hate using, like, I hate using cliche terms, but it is pay it forward. Like, right down to the guy that makes our T-shirts. He's a punk rock guy. He runs a punk rock business. Like, it's Nat who owns Radiation Records. He does our T-shirts. Okay, and it's all feeding back into the community of what we do. That's what keeps it alive. The fact that, like, Bill's been able to keep his record store alive through online business, and prior to that, Marty mail ordering, you know, and like I mail ordered and stuff. Like, you have to do it. You can't, you know, you have to take the initiative. You have to support. Like, here's a term that a lot of people can get used to, is like when someone says, "Hey, dude, give me a bro deal." The bro deal is you go and you contribute to other people within the community so they can continue to do their job for another day. That's
right.
The bro deal. It isn't like, give me a discount. Like, can you sell me this record that's $15 for $10 because that's punk rock? No.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, and we're very much that. Like, everybody that we're tied with, most of our, quote, business arrangements are done on a handshake. We won't work with people that we can't trust from the get-go. If we feel that we have to get legal, then it's not worth working with them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, and that's been the band's, you know, point of view from the beginning, and it's going to be till we decide that we're not playing as a band any longer. And I think it's very important. It's an ethic, you know, like we do, and it's awesome that Bill's still here, because there's been plenty of other punk record labels, there's been other record stores that just said, this is not profitable enough for me to give a shit about, I'm done. And they made their money and they left. There's tons of bands that did it, there's tons of labels that did it. And Bill's still here, and there's been times, as you know, man, like people weren't buying nothing.
Oh, the recession
people weren't coming to
was
shows.
terrible.
Yeah, people weren't coming to shows and all that. And you have to love this to do it.
Exactly. So here's a good segue for the show. I'm like Bill said, I always go to Dr. Strange Records. You know, he puts out the best bands. His store is just like the only thing I hate about going into Dr. Strange is fuck, dude. My wife's gonna be so pissed off when I spend all this goddamn money, because you see all these new records. You're like, holy shit! I was looking at some old Eater, some Channel 3, you know. DrStrangeRecords.com. Go there. So when you guys were doing your interview, it's a perfect thing about the community thing. Like, while I have you on the show right now, I mean, I'm a musician too. You know what I mean? And we all have to in order for us to do this, because it's not cheap. You know, everyone wants everything for free with this fucking internet bullshit. I still love having vinyl. So I actually bought this from you guys because I want to support. I paid for this at Dr. Strange Records. I love spinning vinyl. So let's spin some vinyl here on the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com. Tell me about this record real quick. What's the story and the history about this vinyl that I just bought?
Well, back in 1997, I believe it was, there was a label in France called Combat Rock Records. He had put out our first 3 7-inches on one LP, and it was called Primary Reinforcement. And so, given 20 years later, we get asked by a fellow in New York State, and he runs a label called Loud Punk Records, if he could re-release that. And we said, you know what, we'll do you one better, and we'll throw 3 more singles on it, and we'll call it Primary Reinforcement Plus. So it's the first 6 singles from 1995 to 1999, and it's
remastered, and Plate Stem by George Horn. Any music nerds out there know who he is, and if you don't, look him up because he's important. And that was very lucky for us to get done. But it also came out, this is the first release on our own label, Orphan Records Group. And it
it
was
is
a split release.
Split release with Loud Punk Records.
Cool. And you guys did some splits too with other bands as well too, like the Templars,
Dead End Cruisers.
Yeah.
Reducers, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, let's do that. Let's spin some fucking vinyl on the show. That's why. That's the one. That's my favorite thing on here. I'm so glad you guys have vinyl. I'm so glad, Bill, that records are fucking back, because it feels so good to hold a record in your hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you guys excited too when you get you release an album instead of like a CD or what do the kids have now? Just Pandora or whatever. Just to hold a record, because you can see the pictures on the back. You can get the lyrics in there so you can sing along. I'm just glad it's back. Dr. Strange Records is the place that you need to buy your vinyl from. I swear to God, Bill is sexy as shit, and he's here.
I'm on camera. They know the difference.
They know that. We're going to play the first song because I'm a horrible DJ. And here are the Lower Class Brats on vinyl. Pick this up. This just came out. Black Lung Show. Chaoticradio.com.
Trying to look mean, fake blue threads and they're wearing baggy jeans. They think they're cool, yeah, they think they're tough, but we know better, they're just pups who write your rules for rebellion. You'll buy anything that they're selling. Who write your rules? Who write your rules? Who write your rules for rebellion?
of my boot. You scream, fuck the system, but you're the system's tool. Look at yourself, man, you're looking at a fool. Write your rules for rebellion. You'll buy anything that they're selling. Write your rules, write your rules, write your rules for rebellion. You're trendy fucks, you're hippies with spikes. You're everything I hate and you're nothing I like. You know everything and you're only 16. You're going to be punks, but you don't support the scene. Write your rules for rebellion. You'll buy anything that they're selling. Write your rules, write your rules, write your rules for rebellion. Write your rules, write your rules, write your rules for rebellion.
See, I told you I'm a horrible DJ. That was the lower class Brats on vinyl from Primary Reinforcement Plus.
A lot of people don't know that's not Bones singing that. That's Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah, he was an easy hire though. You know,
I am what I am.
just a couple cans of spinach and he was out of there. You know,
Yeah,
it was
easy.
no pay.
Yeah.
So a little over 20 years into the game, and I know you guys have had different lineup changes, as most bands are going to have. But seriously, here's a. It might sound stupid. It's a serious question that I have. What keeps you motivated to keep doing it? Because I mean, touring is fucking hard. You know, it murders bands. I mean, I think what.
Sure, yeah.
What was it? The singer from the Casualties just recently quit after all that time because he couldn't handle the road. And
I actually, I'm personal friends with all those guys. He actually, it wasn't he couldn't handle anymore. He's got a family,
right,
and he's missed out on a lot of opportunities and stuff. So it was just kind of like, I'm done. Like I've been doing this for over 20 years,
right,
and I'm done doing it. Like I had a good run, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, well, that's the same point that I'm bringing up. You know, even with my band, when I mean, we might do like a tour for like a week, you know, and here and there because everyone's old and has got
Sure,
kids
yeah.
and stuff like that. Let me ask you that: do you guys, anybody here, have kids?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
She's 7.
She's 7. All right, cool.
Then 3 cats and a dog.
Yeah, I have 3 pit bull and 2 chihuahuas.
All right, cool.
I have 1 cat and 1 19-pound house tiger. He's a cat, but we call him a house tiger.
Bones, what about you, brother?
I got a 4-month-old kitten named Bella.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just got her 2 weeks ago from the Humane Society down in San Diego, and she's
a
little-
firecracker.
She's a little rocket, man. She's cool. So
That's cool.
I'm missing her right now. I get to see her tonight when I get
Oh,
home. This is the first night I spent away from my baby.
Oh, shit.
You know, so she's just a little one. You know,
I-
but I got friends to take care of her while I'm gone.
Well, besides the kids, man, animals are like, it's a big passion for me too. I got a 75-pound pit bull that sleeps in between me and my wife in my bed. Fucking spoiled as shit. And then we got 3 other cats too, and they're wild too. But like whenever I go out for business trips or whatever, or we go out and play a show, I miss my animals. So no children. Yeah, besides your 7-year-old.
Mine's pretty real.
Right. Just
Eats food, all that
asking.
stuff.
Maybe that's what makes it easier to be able to tour.
No, that's it does, and it's you can look at it a bunch of different ways and what people do with their lives and how they lead them, and us all being older, and like a lot of people would say we're in arrested development. It's like, oh, you're living this thing, you're selfish, you don't want to have a family, you don't want to do things like that. But my thing is, I don't think I'd ever be ready to handle a kid. I do like children.
Right. Yeah.
other people's children. But for me, I couldn't. I don't know. It's just not for me, and I enjoy what I do, and I think that there's something for everybody out there. Their lot in life of what they're doing, and I think what we do is just as important as my friends having children. Of course, the grass is always greener on the other side, and sometimes
Right.
I look at that and wonder what that life would have been like, and it's like, if I would have made other choices, but if there's some choices that have led me to be here right now, having this interview with you, and I'm happy, I'm content, so, you see what I mean?
No, I fully get you. Like seriously, honestly, I live by the law of attraction. I love that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't think you would be you if you weren't doing what made you happy. Certain people, they can't handle that. So on that note, I want to ask you about touring. Here's a weird question that I got for you guys, and you guys can make fun of each other here on the show. One of the last shows that I was playing with my band, we were going out, and all the bands in the van, right? We're trying to pick out the music that we're listening to, what we're gonna talk about. And I think David Bowie had just died, and all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, my guitar player is like, "I don't like David Bowie," and we were all looking at him like, "Yeah, no."
That's the first time I have ever heard that.
See, that's what I'm fucking saying. We all looked at him like, "Dude, you don't like David Bowie?" He's like, "No, dude, I don't dig it." So, because you have, you got all this downtime when you're on tour. You got the show that you're looking forward to. But what have you guys found out about each other that surprised you? Like, that you're like, really, dude? You don't like that band? Do you guys have those conversations or not?
I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of anything. I'm not trying to, like sidestep the question, because I'm afraid
No, it's
that
a weird- it's a-
that-
it's a-
that I'd
it's a weird
insult
fucking-
any of my bandmates.
It's a weird
But-
fucking question.
I think more common is sometimes when we're in the van, when we discover a band member hasn't heard of a band that they should have, and we end up having discussions about, oh, dude, you've got to check this out. When we did those dates with Negative Approach a few years ago, and we just sat in the back, you would think like the Lower Class Brats and Negative Approach on tour together for like 4 days would be party and fucking hard drinking. No, we would get to the gig. We'd be in the little like green room area, and we would just.
We had a half an hour conversation with Negative Approach about Captain Beyond.
Yeah.
And how much we all like it,
And I had never heard Captain Beyond, and like I got Bones telling me, who's the biggest music skeptic out of all of us, who's very like he has very precise taste.
I don't like onions in my food either.
Yeah, telling me like you haven't heard it, I like it. So I immediately we finish the tour, I go and buy a Captain Beyond record, and I feel like the biggest asshole because I have not. The record came out in 1974. I hadn't even heard of this band.
See, this is why we have these conversations. Dude, I don't have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, first off, Captain Beyond is not a punk rock band.
Doesn't matter.
It was like a super group, proto rock, it's hard to describe.
It's kind of proggy, kind of just straight rock. It kind of, it's.
But it has a punk element to it, like a punk energy.
Yeah.
To it, and they did multiple albums, but the only good one. And you guys all said, just get the first album. Don't get anything else.
The song "Dancing Madly Backwards" will just drive you crazy. It's amazing. So good.
And yeah, I think that's the main thing. We've never had what you don't like the Stones, what you don't like the Who, what you don't like, Black Flag. It's just been like, what, you haven't heard this? Dude, you gotta check this band out.
It's such a stunning, stunting conversation to have, because I remember first going to shows and being new into the punk scene and wanting to fit in, and it's that was a big part of going to shows was okay, there's these other people that share the same emotions and feelings and don't quite fit in and wanting to be a part of that. For me personally, I would be scared to say, oh, I don't know that band or so it's oh yeah, do the nod and smile, but that totally closes you off to so many
you won't discover anything
so much
that
new
way
music
if you act like you know it all.
Right.
That's true. No, that's a great point.
Yeah, it's it's taken decades to start getting into. I mean, there's so much music out there that I'm still discovering new stuff, and I'm even going back and in high school, I was all I would buy was like if it was on a major label, I was like, no, I don't want to touch that. And now it's like there's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, I missed out on because I didn't even like Led Zeppelin, or because someone at school, I didn't like the person that was listening to it. So
or it wasn't or it wasn't punk enough, right?
Or it wasn't punk enough. Yeah. And
like
it's
how dare you like that band?
Right. And it's great to find out about bands that, you know, influence punk, like that, you know, have a lot of punk attitude to it, like Captain Beyond, which I'll have to go listen to now.
Yeah, you and me both.
So,
that's great. I mean, for me, for everyone that's listening, I hate sounding like a broken record, but it's the whole transition. I think what I've discovered doing this show over the last 2 years, I'm going on 3 years now for doing this show, and being older now, you know, been doing the game for, you know, over 2 decades. It was crazy. It's the same thing. Like when you show up and you listen to punk rock, you know, everyone's got the Exploited patch and everyone's got the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, and what, you don't like the fucking Exploited, you know, oh shit, I don't know about that. Or you would also get the kids that would be, you know, even cooler than you because what, you don't know who Flux of Pink Indians are? And you're like shit, dude, I didn't know I was supposed to know that.
Obscure off.
Yeah, when they get so obscure that I like sharing, and that's the whole exact point of this show, is that I like sharing this music with the listening audience. There's people listening all over the world. You know, in my day job, you know, I manage a pest control company. I remember I had a kid that came in, and when he found out I played in a band, he was asking me about punk rock. And so I tried to relate something to him because he's in his 20s. And I remember I told him, I said, well, I play in a punk rock band. He's like who? And I'm not going to say Black Flag or, you know, the Ramones or something older that I listened to that was my inspiration. I was like, you ever heard of Rancid? And, you know, I tried that. And he looked at me like all confused. I was like, yeah, they were big in the 90s. They were on a Saturday Night Live even. I mean, fuck, dude, it's Rancid, right? You think they know that? Kid was like, I was born in the 90s, Ryan. I'm like, fuck, dude. Fuck. I'm trying. But anyway, my job is to give people a new sound, even if it's an older band. I've had Cheetah Chrome from the Dead Boys call in. I've had CJ Ramone calling, my heroes, my friends, bands I play with, bands I look up to, the Briefs, all these bands. I want people to like your band, and it's a good segue because there's only a few things I do on my show that are constant from week to week, and one's called Show Some Love, because we got to show some love back to the scene. So I ask everybody that comes into the studio to show some love to some other bands that you think that might want to come in here. We can promote them, or bands that you guys have just played with, like you've been on tour or something and you have an opening act. You're just like, holy shit, who the fuck are these guys? Love these guys. Let's get them out there. So are there any bands you guys think that...
Sniper 66 from Austin, Texas, definitely.
That was fast. Yeah. All right. All right, Bones. Sniper 66. My engineer's not taking notes. She left. Anyway.
Is
someone recording this? It's
on YouTube. I'll watch it later. That's a good.
What are these mics for?
Yeah, that's a good point. God damn it! Stop making me look like an idiot on my own show. So all right, Sniper 66. Who else is cool as shit that we should look at listen to?
Skullcrack from Orange County. Great hardcore band.
Okay.
Like the guys came up to me at a show, handed me their first 7-inch, and I played it when I got home, and I was like, all right, this has all the cool things about hardcore punk rock I love. You know, I could hear their influences, and then they gave me their second 7-inch where I was like, now they have their own sound, you know?
Cool.
And they're like active guys that they go to every show. They don't go to one type of show. They go to every show. They hang out. They're putting out their own records and not waiting for things to be handed to them. And like, they're not only a good band, but they definitely deserve people to support, check them out, you know, because they're out there doing it.
Cool.
Well, what, from when we were in Oklahoma, was it Killer Hearts?
Oh, Killer Hearts from
great band.
Oh yeah, from Dallas.
They killed
great,
it.
Like rock and roll punk.
They're
band.
from Houston.
Houston, that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Killer Hearts.
Yeah,
You guys,
I'll back that one up. Yeah.
One of my good friends, the band that actually had the very first band on this show was from Houston, Texas. They're called SA. You guys know who those guys are?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
SA is a great band. They're on DOA's label. Was it
Sudden Death.
Sudden Death? Yeah. Yeah. SA. Great band to check out.
Hardworking band. They tour nonstop.
Oh, they're crazy, right? That's the lifestyle. Where can people where can people check you guys out? I mean, it's a stupid question. I mean, obviously, just search on the internet. But you guys have a Facebook page. You guys have you guys on Twitter and all that. All that shit.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have our own YouTube channel.
You have your own channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just Lower Class Brats. Type it in, see what pops up. You know.
All right. I need my engineer back in. It would be cool.
Or even on Grindr.
You're on Grindr?
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you guys just got done doing these last 2 shows with Special Duties. Hi, how you doing?
I'm so sorry.
Too much fun, right? Too much fun.
Yeah, my old roommate just stopped by. She was in the area, and so she swung in, and I had to go out and get her.
All right.
Thank you for your patience.
It's all right.
And I got a song for you guys.
Oh, I need that because I got to pee.
Okay.
So,
are we doing commercial break? Is that what I missed?
No. I want to play a song so I can.
Okay, so we're going to play The Hand We're Dealt.
There we go. You're listening to the Lower Class Brats. This is the Black Lung Show on the world famous chaoticradio.com.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey! 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 Now we're growing old, my old friends. Never bothering to right or wrong. All we've ever known you getting drunk and singing songs. Well, I'm the only one to blame. From my friendship, but I stay the same. The hand we're dealt is often hard. Right up stuck with the joke and hard. Hey! 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 Never trust anyone over 30. Now I'm too weak. Trust ourselves. Should we trade it all in for a sale and put the rest of it on the shelf? Well, I'm the only one to blame. Rob my friendship, but I stay the same. The hand we're dealt is often hard. I got stuck with the joke of God. Hey! 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 Well, I'm the only one to blame. From a friendship, but I stay the same. The hand we're dealt is often hard. I got stuck with the joke of God. Hey! 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 All the doors that were open to you, they all got shut in my face. When I go back and I try it off, they're all locked firmly in place. Now I work a dead-end job. Hey, little rich boy, will take a look at me. I know I'm not living in paradise, but there's no place that I'd rather be. Well, I'm the only one to blame. From my friendship, but I stay the same. The hand we're dealt is often hard. I got stuck with the joke I caught. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Lower Class Brats live in studio. Yeah.
Those
That
guys
shit is-
are awesome.
I know some of those guys. Those guys are bad.
I know those.
Here's the stupidest fucking question I'm going to ask you in the whole entire show. But it's actually kind of, well, a Clockwork Orange. A little bit of an influence on the band, I think. Just a smidgen, right?
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit. for and again, this takes us back to like that whole Rancid conversation. That's an old film. That's the Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece. I'm a big fan. I got my Clockwork Orange T-shirts. What I want to ask you this question: what is it about that film that inspires so many punk bands? I mean, not only you guys, but the Addicts. I mean, everybody else. I mean, it's a film about rape, ultra-violence, and Beethoven. You know what I mean? How does that translate to punk rock, and why did the whole punk rock community? Just your thoughts on it. I'm just curious. I love the film.
Well, I've been asked this a bunch of times, and my whole thing on it, the way I kind of see it, is the movie deals with disenfranchised youth, and with this youth comes music, and becomes boredom. You can go and talk on and on about the rape and ultraviolence thing, and I don't see that in it, in what the influence is. I don't think that influenced it, because if it did, there'd be a bunch of kids out there beating each other up and raping each other.
Right.
So but the main parts of the movie are, it's like just disenfranchised youth and looking for something, and no matter what it may be, right or wrong, and society trying to change you and make you think right. And I think a lot of people read into this with their own things they have going on in their life, and I think it weighs heavy on a lot of teenagers, and it has for decades and decades since the book came out.
Right.
That's kind of my whole take on it, really. In a nutshell.
Yeah, it on one measure, like the movie, and it's kind of like, if it speaks to you, it kind of does make you like, you're kind of like, it's in your DNA to be a punk rocker if this movie speaks to you. But like Bones says, it's about disenfranchised youth, and it's also about a state that tries to control them by using the exact same techniques that they claim to be against to control them, and it backfires. And that's the thing. It's not like the violence and the rape references, or the actual rapes that happen in the story. Those are just, the violence and rape are fucking horrible things. I don't want to trigger anybody or think that it's a belittling thing, but it's not really about that. It's about a state who wants to control a youth that has been cast aside, has not been spoken for, only spoken at, and then again using those same violent means to control them, and in the end result is it backfires. And it's really creepy and scary without getting political. We're kind of dealing with that right now. Like, we're in the 80s all over again.
Exactly.
Like, you look at the present situation with politics, and the jerk in the White House right now, and it's like, we grew up in the 80s, and it's kind of like, wow, we thought Reagan was bad, Jesus, we're so fucked right now, So,
and let me say this real quick, okay? Because I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot for that. The reason I work in film too, and so I just remember the log line, because that's kind of one of my things. So it's the adventures of a guy that's rape, ultraviolence. I'm not looking at that same. Like I said, I love the movie. I just wanted to get a take, like what you guys thought about the film. It's the same thing. It's I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I don't talk about politics on the show, because sometimes, it's
and we don't sing about them, so that's all right.
All right, well, that's good.
There's the other bands that do a far better job in espousing politics than we ever could.
So it's okay with that being said. So what is it about you guys getting together and your songs? What are they geared towards, as far as like lyrics? I sing in my band, so lyrics are a big thing to me. Is it life experience? Is it the disenfranchised youth like you're talking about? Obviously it's not politics. Where do your songs come from?
Well, mostly
fucking loud in here. You hear that big ass fucking party? This is almost over. We're gonna party with you guys in a minute. Shut the fuck up.
There's a lot of things. A lot of it's real personal, A lot of the songs, like the last song we just played here, was written about my family.
Okay.
And growing up.
Yeah.
When I say, all the doors that were open to you, I'm actually talking about somebody. There's a person behind that line, you know, and a lot of it's real. But then there's stuff that we do like "Do It Again" or "Ultraviolence" or you know, other songs, "Psycho" or "Go Insane" that are just like, they're just fun anthems, you know, let's get crazy type of thing. But most of the other songs, when I try not to get too deep in my lyrics because it probably really could, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of personal stuff that's going on in my head and that I see around me, and you know, a lot of things that I've been through in life that are kind of, you know, some of the songs might be cautionary tales, like "Shot Up, Shot Down," you know, and a lot of these songs, if you read them and you're wondering, you know, if these things really happen, if it's not like a fun anthem or something like that, there's a lot of truth in every lyric that I write. I'm not going to make shit up for people and just try and, you know, get by on that. Like, look how cool I am. Look at my gack and my, you know, it's like, no, I write about, you know, things I see and, you know, feel and, you know, that I think other people might be interested in hearing about.
Okay.
Know? So
fair enough. And so when you guys write, just out of curiosity, how does the writing process with you guys? I mean, does somebody just come in with a riff and just say, "Hey, I got this fucking great riff," and then all of a sudden everyone just starts jamming, and then
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
exactly what
Just
happens.
builds into a
comes in
song.
with, someone comes into an idea, and then we form it. We put it together. Sometimes when Bones will hear us and say, "Hey, why don't we try? Could maybe move this part here? Could you shorten this one?" And then we put the skeleton together, so to speak.
yeah.
And then when it comes, we kind of have the arrangement of the song. Then Bones like put some words on top of it, and then that's when it really comes together. Like it is a collaborative effort. There isn't one guy that goes, "Here's the song, this is how it goes, and here's how the lyrics, here's the words." Like it was something when I joined the band and I started taking part in the songwriting process, is something that like I really wanted to adhere to, that everything had everybody's stamp on it, you know. Right. This isn't Danzig, you know what I mean? Like, where it's like one dude, this is a song, this is how it goes, whoa, you know, like no, like it is a group effort. We're a band.
All right, and you guys are a great band, and we're winding down. We've got
Cheers.
2 minutes left of the show, so let's go out, let's hang out. We're doing the punk rock thing. I want you guys to come back. I want you guys to come back in. The new album? What's that?
I'm sorry, Ryan, to interrupt. You guys aren't going to go until 6 today?
No, we're cool.
Okay, cool. Well, then we don't have to do the break. You guys can go for a few minutes longer. if you
Oh,
like.
okay.
Well,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought we
Chat
were
some
going
more.
for another hour.
No. It's just we gotta let these guys unwind, man. They've been playing, they've been touring. These guys, we
Definitely.
got special duties in here. We got Bill from Doctor Strange. We got Sal from Sal's Photos in here. This is the fucking spot to be at. There's people in here looking at me. I don't know who you are. I'm waving. There's babies. There's babies in the studio.
Bring your babies down here.
How you doing, babies? In fact, let me say this. Hey, special duties, Bill, everybody, why don't you come in studio for a second while we say goodbye to the show? We're on YouTube. Let's do a big family punk rock thing. It's all about the community. Open the door. Go ahead. Of course, they're not listening. Why don't you fuckers get in here?
Anybody? Special duties guys? Anyone want to come in and say?
This is it.
No.
No,
we're good.
Right away.
Yeah, there's
Here
Steve.
we go.
Steve.
Mr. Steve Duty.
There we go.
On duty, always.
You said duty.
duty.
Dude from the duties.
All right, we got Steve from Special Duties here in studio right now on the Black Lung Show. This is fucking awesome. Steve, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, very good. How are you?
There's
All right.
another duty.
There's another duty.
More
There we
duty.
go. Come on in.
More duty.
There's
Studios.
room is so
There's
full of
cells.
duty.
Duty.
Let's get everybody in here.
The boys
We
are
are
here.
packing duty.
That's it. There we go.
Boys to entertain you. With music and laughter and
Everyone's trying to cram in here right now. I want to flip the script a little bit right now. I want Special Duties to come in on my show the next time you guys are down here. I want the Lower Class Brats to be on Dutch's show.
Nice. Go.
Spread the love. That's what it's all about. Let me ask you a question. You were interviewed with oh, you can hear me. I'm fucking screaming.
yeah, okay.
Special Duties. You were interviewed about your band. Let me interview you about the Lower Class Brats. Why don't you tell us about the Lower Class Brats?
What do you want to know?
Anything you want to say. The mic is yours. Just what
First
do you,
time I saw them was Friday night, and I thought they were fucking brilliant. Yeah, that's all I can say. Fantastic stage show, fantastic presence, fantastic blokes.
Checks in the mail.
Now, me and Bart have been watching them for a while, but to see the guys live is something else.
It's so cool having all you
We
guys in here.
appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, we
mad,
come on.
mad,
And we
mad
really, like,
respect
we
to
don't
special
take it
duties from
lightly
us
at
too.
all.
It's
You
true.
know that, right?
If you haven't watched these guys live, you've missed out.
That's right.
Brilliant live show. Brilliant live show.
Love hanging out with you guys. We're down. We're down to the end of the Black Lung Show.
No.
This is so fucking fun right now. We're still gonna keep hanging out, but this is not my show. This is your show. So if you have bands, any of you guys, if you guys know anybody anybody in bands, send them our way. We'll promote them. We support our scene. This is what we do. Next week, a big announcement. My guest next week on this show is gonna be the Soul and Bones. They got a brand new album coming out on Dr. Strange Records. Soul and Bones are going to be in here. Let's take us out with some lower class brats.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Black Lung Show live on chaoticradio.com.
Gonna quit our jobs, 'cause they don't pay no money. You act so serious, we think you act funny. Some call it art, we call some shit. Life's first class, and we'll all drink from it. Rains are falling into my hands. I have gone to a far right land. There is nothing in my head. I'm glad I'm what I could be dead. Back in again. It's always with the bang. The days talk wild. Come and join the game. Brains are falling into my hands. I have gone to a far right land. There is nothing in my head. I'm glad I'm what I could be dead. Things are falling into my hands. I have gone too far off land. There is nothing in my head. I'm glad I'm what I could be dead. Things are falling into my hands. I have gone too far off land. There is nothing in my head. I'm glad I'm what I could be dead.
When the normal BS just won't do. chaoticradio.com.
Oi, oi, skinhead, get your own cup. You know everyone, we know they all have their own drugs. Fighters that big monks, they get drinking at the bar. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. With the hematopia, I'm a from still gone. Black keeps so information, I'll go all night long. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. People come up to me every day, ask me why I dress this way. They don't know what to say when I get on and walk away. I wanna say that you've been. Well, I wanna say that you've been. I wanna say that you've been. Searching fingers, sick, taking me down. Well, I wanna say that you've been. I wanna say that you've been. I wanna say that you've been. Searching fingers, sick, taking me down. Yes, I've always lived in the run. Lived my life like a loaded gun, with the quest to have fun. Guess I'm just a terminal orphan. I wanna say that you've been. Well, I wanna say that you've been. I wanna say that you've been. Searching for the sick, taking the land. Well, I wanna say that you've been. I wanna say that you've been. Well, I wanna say that you've been. Searching for the sick, taking the land. People come up to me every day, ask me why I dress this way. They don't know what to say when I spit on red and walk away. Yes, I've always lived on the run, lived my life like a loaded gun, with the quest to have fun. Guess I'm just a terminal orphan. I wanna say that you can. Well, I wanna say that you can. I wanna say that you can. Searching for the sick, taking the land. Well, I wanna say that you can. I wanna say that you can. Well, I wanna say that you can. Searching for the sick, taking the land. Well, I wanna say that you can. I wanna say that you can. Well, I wanna say that you can. Searching for the sick, taking the land. Well, I wanna say that you can. I wanna say that you can. Well, I wanna say that you can. Searching for the sick, taking the land. Singing been next